In this session, I'm going to talk about SharePoint Spaces and using that how you can create a kind of 3D kind of view for your company event or any kind of virtual event or a kind of simple information if you want to share with the user, right? Because nowadays we are in a mode that we cannot meet in person to each and every or have a kind of get together within the community. So you can use these SharePoint spaces and create something interesting using that the person who are with whom you are sharing this information cannot feel that they are not in person, right? So today I'm going to speak about how to create a 3D entry space to your next company event and how to use the SharePoint spaces. So that is basically a kind of using this you can create kind of immersive and mixed reality experiences for anyone, and this could be run on any devices. So it is not a kind of a limitation to use this on any devices. So before I jump into that, I just want to brief you about myself. So myself, Kirti Prajapati, and I am Microsoft MVP MCT and working as an independent modern workplace consultant. And I have been doing SharePoint since around 2007, so maybe it's like 14 plus now. And by trade, I would call myself a SharePoint developer, most probably, most of the time, because I'm very much involved in this development stuff, which is related to Microsoft Teams, SPFX, or a kind of any SharePoint implementation. And along with that, I have been speaking in local and international community events and such conferences because I'm very much passionate to share my knowledge in all the possible ways. So this is how I'm contributing within the community. And along with that, I am also an organizer of Microsoft 365 Ahmedabad user group, and we are also organizing such events under this group, like Microsoft 365 Global Developer Bootcamp, then Global Power Platform Bootcamp, SharePoint Saturdays, and of course, we are conducting some of the workshops just to share the knowledge which has been recently launched by Microsoft or published by Microsoft uh, in any component, like if there is a Power Platform, SPFX, or Microsoft Teams in terms of the development part. And you can also connect with me on Twitter and LinkedIn, and I will be more than happy to share if you have any questions or if you need any kind of help from my end. Yeah. So this is all about me, and as most of you know that SharePoint Spaces, a new feature introduced by Microsoft back in 2018, and now it is available in preview for SharePoint Online. So Spaces basically brings in a mixed reality experiences and a lot of possibilities to interact with content, which can be anything. Content could be anything, either text, image, video, or anything you can consider as a content using mixed reality headsets or without headsets. So there is no need to have the headsets just to explore this SharePoint Spaces for now. So you can also look around and interact with the spaces without headset. As I mentioned that there is no need to use the headset. So for this session, I am not going to use any headset. I'm just using without headset, and we'll explain that how it will look like when you're creating something using SharePoint Spaces. So today I'm going to talk a few things about the what are SharePoint Spaces, then how to set up the environment, because it is not coming eventually when you create a SharePoint site or if you have the existing SharePoint site. So how to set up the not specific to environment, but how to enable the feature just to have this activity or SharePoint spaces in your environment. And then I'll explain different scenarios where you can use SharePoint spaces, and also I will explain in demo that what are the out of the box web parts available when you enable the SharePoint spaces, and you can use those in your environment. And I will share the resources if you want to hands-on or want to learn more regarding the SharePoint Spaces, then I will share few of the information from where I prepared this in demo and learn something on that. So these are the 4 points that I'm going to talk about in today's session. So let me start with the SharePoint Spaces first. So SharePoint Spaces, as I mentioned, that it's immersive mixed reality experiences, and that will help you to enable different views, and using that you can interact with content from every angle, and you can also visualize and manipulate data and product models in real time. So that means that if you have something in these SharePoint Spaces, then you have different options, or a lot of or every angle you can visualize and manipulate the data, like how it will look like if you are talking about any product. So I'll explain you one of the example that how the object will look like from the every angle when you are using this in SharePoint Spaces. And SharePoint Spaces mainstreams mixed reality, empowering everyone to create visually compelling spaces. So it will be very kind of very interactive look and feel, and that are available to anyone, and you can access from any devices. And along with that, it is also cross-platform, as it supports a wide range of mixed reality devices and web browsers. So there is no limitation to use this feature on any browsers. And it is basically made for the creators who are planning to create a mixed 2D and 3D content, to create custom experiences that might tell your stories in stunning 360-degree views. So you can create a kind of 2D and 3D kind of a layout, which can share something what you want to share with this uh, the meeting attendees or the employees of the organization. So you can use that. And it is also secure and compliant, that is, it is secure on O365 ecosystem. So all the goodness for your peace of mind. So there is no need to have something different or implement something new just to have this feature. And it is also integrated and extensible, since this is a platform. So there are chances when it grows over the time to include third-party web parts. For example, as of now, there are, I think, 10 or 11 out of the web parts available. But what if you want to use your custom web parts? For example, SPFX web parts you have created and you want to use in SharePoint Spaces, right? So there could be chances when not now, but after 6 or 8 or 8 months or maybe 1 year, it could be a kind of grows over the time and allow us to include third-party web parts and extensions as well, which can be created using SPFX SharePoint framework. But of course, we have to wait for that as a developer, right? And using this SharePoint Spaces, you can create virtual tours. So, for example, if you want to have a kind of college orientation program or a tour of a new building in terms of different departments, then you can bring your team to your events with 360-degree videos, and you can use 3D models to realize them actual view. You can also use the drone footage, like how it will look like when you looking out the buildings or the departments on from the top of the area. So you can use the drone footage of the field to showcase the actual situation. As an organization, all members of your team feels included wherever they are. So they will not feel that we are not in this on the real place. So they can also interact with the component you are explaining them. And the another example you can use, like recruiting and onboarding. So recruits or new employees can learn about a company in a compelling 360-degree virtual kind of welcome orientation. And you can also include a 360-degree video message from leadership if you want to share something as a video. And they can navigate the campus or building with 3D maps. So you can create a kind of image and have the image as a linkable text or item, and that could redirect you to somewhere else from that place only. And using that, they can learn the organizational structure with an interactive organization chart, or they can explore rich information about the co-workers and the organization's products. If your company or organization have some products, then you can also explain such information using this. And another example you can consider is a kind of training. So you can also make creating and sharing training processes with 3D models and 360-degree videos simpler than ever. So with the mixed reality, you can build skills and experiences that are as close as you can get to real life. So it will be very helpful to create a kind of interactive training session using 2D and 3D models. So, and another one is a kind of uh, provide you the learning beyond the classroom experience. So, by creating learning experiences that captures maybe it could be attendees or the student. So it can capture the attention and there can be challenge in every classroom. So displaying lessons on screen and paper doesn't always contain with real world distraction and varying learning style. So it could be different style to explain something using this. So with mixed reality, learning comes to life by captivating your focus and attention. So you can also use this in the learning and sharing your knowledge with the students or the attendees as a process. And uh, yeah, these are all the main points that you can consider while trying to use SharePoint Spaces, like what is it, what are the components you can use, and what are the different options or different features you can creating by using the SharePoint Spaces. So before I jump into the actual development, so as a developer, you should know that what are the or what should be enabled when you're planning to have this in our SharePoint, our tenant or Microsoft 365 site, whatever the site you have created, right? So for that, we just have to enable one feature. So I'll explain you that how to activate that feature. And before that, I want to explain like couple of scenarios that could be used using this SharePoint Spaces functionality. So as I mentioned that you can also have a kind of office virtual tours. For example, you can add a lobby as a starting space and linking other spaces and 360-degree images for other spaces in your office. And you can also have an introduction videos for general practices and guidances. That video just can explain that what is it and how you can go further if you're watching this from the SharePoint Spaces, and some help text on the way to tell people where everything is. For example, from where you can find the documentation, or from where you can find the other department information. So those kind of information you can use in your office virtual tours. And onboarding process for new employees that could include important documents, like if I'm a new employee in the organization, then from where I can get the FAQs or leave related documents or other kind of stuff which is available somewhere, and maybe introduction videos of the company or some kind of materials. So introducing people with the people web part, there is a people web part over there. You can just have that and type in the name, so it will give you the hierarchy of the people associated with that people which whose name you have just entered. And again, you can visualize the team introduction with people. It may contains the roles and some fun facts along with that. And apart from this, if you can share the product information with documentation, links, demo videos, and responsible people if they are managing within the organization. And apart from this, you can have the fun stuff, for example, from company events and get together as a event. You can create as a event using this SharePoint Spaces. So these are all the basic information that you can cover when you're planning to have this SharePoint Spaces implementation. So now I'll explain that how to enable the feature first, and how you can get started with SharePoint Spaces. So I'm creating from scratch. So this is my tenant and I'm just creating the new site. So I'm clicking on this and creating new communication site, and I'm just giving the name M365 CO and just go with the default one. So when you have existing site or creating new site, then in the new button you don't have any option to create the spaces, right? Here I don't see anything related to spaces. So for that you have to enable one feature. So I'm just duplicating this screen and going into site settings, and from manage features, site information, site settings, and from manage features, manage site features, you can just search for the spaces, right? And this will allow user to create mixed reality spaces in a site. So it is by default deactivated, so you have to like activate it. And once it is activated, then we will be able to see that so I just need to refresh it, option to create the spaces for this SharePoint site, right? So space is available. So once you click on the space, it will create a kind of uh, give you the information like what type of structure you want to create. So I'll just go with the default one in the gallery and giving the name and creating it. So once you are providing the input for those information, then this would be your space, the default space created with the name M365CO, right? And once you publish it, let me publish it. So we'll have the page created for this page, and I just want to have this on the navigation. So you can see that my site name is M365 Go and my page name is M365C, M365C.aspx. Now this is the SharePoint space which can be used to create my interactive 2D, 3D model kind of content for whatever either it's a virtual event or a kind of product information sharing or a kind of office tour. So before that, we should understand that what are the different options available if you want to use these SharePoint spaces. So first thing is, let me edit this page, and we have this space design option in this menu. So I'm just clicking this space design. So what is space design? So space design is, you can see this, the image. So you can change the structure for that. So we have the gallery structure for now, but if you want to have this amphitheater, you just select this and it will eventually change from the previous one to the selected the updated one. And you can have the terrace view, whatever the view you want to like, you can just select from the structure and it is available for you to go through it. So I'll go with the terrace one. And if you want to change the background image, so by default this is the image, but you can change any one from this, right? And if you do not want to use the image, then you can use the background color as well. Yeah, here we have the background color, so you can use any color if you want. And if you want to use illustration, then a kind of illustration is also available. There are two type of options available so far. And if you have this custom 360 degree file, you can also use that. So these are the different options you can utilize from this menu. So we will go with the default one for now, and I'm just selecting this image. So this is all about structure and background. And now if you want to add some welcome message, so by default it comes as a no, but if you want to add a kind of audio file, then click on the audio file, and you can select from whatever the location your file is available. So I'll explain you that in one of the space I have used that. So you can use that in welcome message. And if you want to have kind of nature voice, kind of sound for wind, rain, so you can use that. So you can hear that just by selecting here. So these are the options that if you want to have a kind of on a when this space is loaded, right? So apart from the audio files, you have the default options available you can use from the ambient sound. So this is the setting for this space you are going to design. So I think these are the options available so far. So you can use or customize as per your requirement. Now, uh, I was talking about the web part. So if you see that we have the plus icon on top, left side corner. So once I click over there, I can see that there are 10 out of the box web parts available for SharePoint Spaces. So these are the options that if you want to create, if you want to use 360-degree image view, then you can just uh, select that web part and place it. And from where whatever the place you are looking out for, you can just upload that image, or you can just have that information from any URL as well. So that is one thing. The same way you can have the other 360-degree tour videos and videos if your organization are having, then you can use that web part here. And if you want to use 3D objects, so I'll go with the 3D object because we have that available out of the box. So you can see we have this 3D catalog available out of the box. So from there, you can pick any 3D object you want to use for the demo or just to learn some things, right? So I'm just going to use the 3D shapes, and from 3D shapes, I can pick anything, anyone. So I'm just picking this, maybe insert it. And as I was mentioning that you can get this information for right. So you can just publish it and then verify that or find that how it look like from different angles. So you can understand that if I'm going to use triangle, then it will look like this from the top of this page. You can just use your mouse just to select it. And if you want to have kind of settings like it is very near to the screen, but if you want to change that, then you can say distance from user. So I am the user, and if you want to make it like far, then you can just change this value from here, distance from. So these are the parameters or properties. You can see like how your object will look like when you are changing this. So you can also rotate using on X or Y, Z, and how the scale will be, right? So these are the different options available for your web part or the object you have used in your SharePoint space. And another example, I was talking about the people. So if you are planning to have kind of have organizational structure information using this, then from here you can just select the name of the people with whom you want to start this information or want to share this. So for example, I just want to change from one of my employee name. So it will give you information like she is working with Roshan, and she is project manager, and she is reporting to the senior project manager. So this would be providing you all the information related to the person whose name you are trying to find in the organization relationship chart, right? So by default, it will get who is logged in. So I'm logged in with my credentials, so I'm getting this information when I'm logged in into this, and it will pull out all the information out of the box. So there is no need to write anything just to pull this information. right? So this is one thing that you can use the people web part. And another one is text. If you want to display kind of text information, you can just add that web part, and you can just edit it, and from the left right side pane you can so you can also change the font color, then font size, then how to make it bold. And here one more thing, like resize frame height to fixed text. If you do off this, then you will be able to change the width of this object. So, and you can change the corner radius as well. So these are the different options available for a specific web part you are pulling out from that web part gallery. So you can do the changes like that. And now if I am on this web part and I want to go somewhere else, right? I want to redirect the user from this place to another place. Then we have this option available for all the web parts as a property. So you can see in the actions on trigger. So once I click on the add action, there are four options available. So the first, inspect. Inspect means once you click on that, it will give you an information from where you can just open that in within the same browser, or you can open in new tab kind of. And if you want to link this to another space, so once I click on this, it will display all the spaces available within this tenant. And if you want to play some video, you can just select play audio and upload your audio file, or select your audio file. And if you want to redirect somewhere, then you can just click on the link to a page or item. So I'm just clicking on this link to another space, and I will explain you the actual uh, this virtual conference, how you can create using this SharePoint Spaces. So I'm just clicking on this, and yeah, because I have just created the new site collection, so I'm not able to see that for this one. So what I'll do, I'll explain few more things and then move to that. So I was mentioning about the objects, like this is the object it will look like. So once I click on that, when you have something in the inspect, then you can see the different options over here. So you can see every angle of the product. Just click your mouse, right click, and just move your mouse wherever you like to see, right? So you can see each and every angle of the product, and you can share all the information with the users, like if they want to look, if they are looking out for more information. And this is how the organization structure will look like by having some podium and kind of information. And I have just used the audio file. When I click on organization structure, it will start the audio, right? So this is the sample of how you can use this, and how you can have the different properties setting up for specific objects. Like now, I'm going to explain few things about this virtual event. So let me start with the one which I have created few days back. So let's say, for example, we are running a kind of, for example, bootcamp event as a virtual event, right? So what happens in the event? So this is a kind of video I have used, and this is a keynote for the event. So once you upload the video and link the video with this video file, so I have used this web part. Let me open that, and video. So I have used this video web part, and you can use any source location to have your video in your SharePoint space. So for now, I'm just explaining that how it will look like. So this is the first step of the event, where you can get this keynote information from the speaker or the person who has been invited, right? So once you click on the start, you can just have this video running on, and from here you can just have the open in a full mode, and you can close it from here, right? So once the keynote of the event is done, then we might have the different keynotes for different tracks. So you can also use the video for that too, right? So you can name the speaker who is going to be kick off this keynote for specific track, and you can have the video, different video, but I have used the same video. And after that you can have the different speakers information using this different layout. So for now I have used my name as a speaker, and once I click on that, yeah, I will not use anything on that, but yeah, I'll show you that PowerPoint opens from there. So you can explain what are the speakers, or who different set of speakers going to speak for this event, or for that track. You can list out all that speaker name and the topic name they are going to talk about. So from there, all the attendees can find that, okay, this is the speaker, and this is their topic they are going to talk about. And after that, if you want to share the slide deck or some materials of that specific session, then you can also share within, or you can just move this PPT just to under this SharePoint Spaces web part, or you can just have this besides. So attendees can understand, okay, this is the material for this session, right? So once you click on that, it will be available for you, or you can just open a new tab, and it will be available for download. So you can download it from here. So very interactive. And if you want to save this item for later, you can just save it. And if you want to just remove it from here, click on the close button. So you can share the speaker information along with this material, so they can just have all the information available. And apart from this, if you want to have some kind of goodies or a kind of some information which can provide some fly out information, then you can just create this kind of 3D objects and put somewhere besides this uh, components. It could be a kind of product information which can comes every 5-10 seconds, and just highlight that area, that okay, these are the products for this company and they are promoting on this event. So this is a kind of example you can present over using SharePoint Spaces. And another thing I have created for this session is I have created this M365 Coimbatore. So I'll explain you that how it will look like. So uh, this is my first visual. I'm just refreshing this. Yeah, it's loading now, and I have set up a kind of default audio file when this first step will be loaded. So if I click on that, it will give me this information, and I can stop the audio from here. If I want to replay, I can just replay from here, stop from here, and close it. Now if you want to redirect user from, let's say for example, I have just trying to use this the layout which we have on the SPS events. So this image and two buttons, learn more and register me, and this text. So I'm trying to use the same thing over here. So you can use the image web part and then upload your image, add text web part, add text, and give a look that it will look like a button. So once you click on learn more, it will redirect you to this URL. So a user will be redirected from your space to anything, right? So this would be my first page from where user can find that, okay, this is the event and these are the buttons from where I can get more information or register myself. Then after that, we just want to thank the sponsors, right? So I've also added the link for the sponsors URL, website URL. So once you click on that, you have the link. You can just click on that. It will open in new tab. So if you want to share product, sponsors information along with their website, you can just have it on your spaces as well. And after that, you can just showcase who all are the speakers going to speak for this virtual conference or virtual event. So for now, I have just used single image, just cropping from the this page to using this one. But you can have the individual speaker card, and once user click on that, you can just showcase something related to the topic, or you can just redirect to their user profile, speaker's profile, either in Twitter or LinkedIn or their website. So from there, the attendees can get more information for that specific speaker. So you can use that kind of component using different web parts, either image web part, text web part, or video web part. So this is all about that. And let's say, for example, for this event, the organizers are going to share all these slide decks and different materials for this event session. Then they can upload all the documents or PPTs in one library, and they can share that library or add the library web part. You can see we have another web part called share doc library. So let me edit this page, and we have the document library. So once you add the document library, it will ask you which document library you want to display in these spaces, SharePoint spaces. So it will give you all the library associated in your site. So I'm just using that. I don't have any documents, so I cannot see anything, but explaining a few things about the properties. So you can see this 360-degree video and image format. So it will give a look and feel like how your files will come when you scroll your mouse. It comes from left, right, or top to bottom. And if you don't have anything or just want to have the default one, use just monoscopic. And other rest of the properties are same as other web parts. So you can use document library just to showcase all the documents associated with your this SharePoint space. So once you click on specific document, then it will look like okay, this is PowerPoint, and I can open that, open in new window, and it will allow me to open in new window, right? And you can save it to later use. You can just click on that, and show description. If you have added description, that will be displayed here, and you can close it, right? Right, so this is how you can use this, and once you left to right, so I'm just scrolling my mouse, and it will move your documents, right? But I think I need to make it like very near to the user, so the user can find that what is the name of the document or the title of the document. So I can just make the distance 2.5, so it will be very near for me, and publish it again. So you can change the properties as well. So I'm scrolling my mouse, and you can see that it will move all the documents. And yeah, one more thing, we have another property. Hello?
Hi, Kirti.
Yeah, Jay, 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll be done
yeah,
in a couple of minutes. No worries.
yeah. We have 5 more minutes. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm about to complete. Yeah. So
Okay.
we have one more property, that what if you want to include the subfolders, right? So there is a property for this document library report. You just have this on and off, and you will be able to see all the subfolders within the library if you have any, and can display all the documents here. So yeah, this is how you can have this kind of virtual information or virtual event information you can share with all the attendees, and from there they will realize that okay, we are attending the in-person event though they are virtual, right? They can get all the information what they are looking out for. So this is a kind of sample POC you can consider just to start with, that how you can create different type of events. So I am keeping in mind that this event M365 Coimbatore, so this gives you a glimpse of how the virtual event will look like, and from where all the users can get this information. Yeah, Jay, so I'm done with that, and yeah, so as I mentioned that there are different scenarios. You can have the virtual office tour or a kind of department tours. Then you can create the training information. So those are the different scenarios you can consider when you are trying to use the SharePoint Spaces. And if you want to have some kind of hands-on, then these are the resources from where you can get started and learn something, how to use the spaces and what are the new features available over there, and how you can use the content collaboration with mixed reality and artificial intelligence. Yeah, so this is all about the resources, and if you have any questions, then this is my social media information. Keep in touch, and I will be more than happy to share my thoughts, and we can be in touch. Yeah, thank you again, and let me know if you have any questions. Then I will be. Yeah, we still have a couple of minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we don't have any questions. Maybe
Yeah.
chat. Yeah, it's a
Thank you, Kirti.
straightforward.
So very
Yeah.
nice. You got one special gift from some of the audience. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Chat.
and thanks to all the sponsors and organizers for having me and allowing me to share this. It's a basic information for spaces, but it will be good to start with because the future will be SharePoint Spaces for all kind of having these virtual sessions. Maybe we can see something for the next Ignite using virtual space if it is going to be virtual. So they might use this platform just to create some kind of events or virtual information just to share with the audience.